Here we go. It's Monday night I'm not gonna say between the hours of 9 and 10 because sometimes we go longer than that. But we do begin at 9 o'clock. This is In the Paint, the realest talk in sports. My name is Roddy Jones. I'm your host slash moderator, and joining me right now, has been my man, Mr. Chandler. How you doing tonight, Chandler?
All right, what's going on, man?
Man, we just chilling, getting another podcast in here. Our boy Max 611, he says he's running late about half an hour, so we'll see. He might be trying to get me back, and what
He,
you know what I'm
he's
saying?
somewhere. He's somewhere with that pork pie hat on, doing his bohemian auteur thing, watching some subtitled movie.
You already know the deal, brother. I'm telling you, that guy. He's something else. Max 611 is something else, otherwise known as Mark A. Cunningham on here. In case for those that don't know. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Let's get the first one to talk about tonight on the docket is going to be with the Richard Sherman situation. He of what team does he play for again?
None. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent. Okay, he's a free agent. But I think last year he played with San Francisco 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. And now he's a free agent. Man, what is going on with this brother? I still, to this very day, cannot make heads or tails of this thing because it seems to be all over the place. It may have straightened itself out recently. And when I say recent, I'm talking about maybe hours ago. But this thing has been all over the place. And I'm talking about the fact that he was arrested on what is burglary, domestic violence. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
He was trying to break into the house. Basically because he was kicking on the door and whatnot. And when they called, that means you're trying to break into the house. It's burglary.
Okay. And then the domestic violence, I think he had gotten to
No, because they're family members, because it was with someone who's related to you. Domestic violence don't mean you hit anybody. It just means there was an incident with someone related to you or who in the same household.
Okay. Because I was, like I said, I was very confused by that, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. There was a lot of people I talked to about this situation, and they were like, "Well, what the hell is that?" And and I agree because, like I said, I talked to a lot of people, and they were like, "We don't even know what the hell it is," and I don't know what the hell it was. I just thought it was very bizarre. My thing that bothered me though, and this is going to be probably very unpopular. While there's somebody, I don't know. Oh, that's Jay. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Let me add Jay to the mix. Good evening, brother Jay. How you doing?
What's good, my brother?
All right. We just talking about the Richard Sherman thing. We're gonna get into the boxing thing a little bit later.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, my thing is the fact that this came out. You understand? And days later or a day later, you were issued an apology about what happened. Okay, and I understand it might be with some mental issues. I get that, but if you're apologizing, isn't it something that you've done wrong? But yet at the same time, you're claiming you're innocent. And I understand people say they want to get ahead, he wanted to get ahead of this or whatever the case may be. But isn't that a case of a little too late?
No. You always plead not guilty. You always plead not guilty. Anytime you want to court, any lawyer that has half a brain is going to tell you you're going to plead not guilty, and then y'all start working on plea deals or whatever. Listen, if they catch you on camera, they got your DNA. Your grandmama is going to be a witness. You say not guilty, and then you make them prove it.
Okay,
you're right. No, absolutely right.
Yeah, I feel you. But, you know what I'm saying?
But, the other piece though is now see he's following a script that normally rich Caucasian folks follow, which is I got caught. I'm gonna plead not guilty. Right. I'm going to apologize and say, listen, I'm going through some things. I've allowed my issues to get the best of me. This is not who I am, and I vow to get better. I'm going to go into treatment. I'm going to get help for these issues. Remember the judge. The judge said he was a pillar of the community. The judge said that. Once they say those words about you, you follow the script. You apologize. You vow to get help. You go to counseling or rehab. Bing, bang, boom.
Okay. I mean, I just found it really strange, you know what I'm saying, in the way that the order went. I just had to speak on that because I was like, wait a minute, because it actually had me like kind of like battling myself. And I was like, wait, I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. You apologize. You don't apologize to do something wrong that you know. under normal circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? But then again, I mean, maybe I'm thinking normally, and I should, think outside the box.
Yep.
When it comes to stuff like this, you know what I'm saying?
He's in the media. He's in the light. Like someone like us, we just regular people. So
right.
We're not going to apologize necessarily in court, but we will plead not guilty. That's for sure. You're not going to apologize until you actually make a statement.
Right.
I just found a statement.
He's got to make a statement. I get that. So what do you think that's going to come out of this? I mean, do you guys really think he'll be innocent? Will he be proven guilty? Or will there be some type of community service? Blah blah blah. The usual nonsense that goes on in these type of cases. Yeah.
What you think, Jay?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I don't really know you see, nobody really knows the details like that. Like no one knows the truth, what really went down.
Right. Right.
So until that all unfolds, you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm hoping he gets a fair trial. If it goes to trial, it may not even go to trial. They'll probably just plea out if he doesn't have a history of anything.
Right.
On his record, they'll just give him probation or he'll pay a fine.
Okay.
But
I can see.
I think
I'm sorry,
what's going to happen. Nah, my bad. I think honestly, what's going to happen if they have enough evidence against him, he's just going to plead out and he's going to take probation or some shit like that.
Yeah,
they're fine.
Yep.
The usual nonsense.
And they'll know exactly what type of evidence they have on him. Because the discovery, that's what happens in discovery. You got to exchange.
I mean, they got the video. They got the video from the doorbell camera.
Okay.
And like I said, when the judge, when somebody who has the authority to put you in jail says that about you, all you got to do is follow the script. Now, regardless of what we know, we already know his wife has made a statement that said he didn't hurt anybody. She said my kids are fine, which means they're going through something, because if they were truly together, she said our kids. She said my kids.
Right.
And y'all got kids. Y'all know what it means when they claim the kids and don't include you. All right. Y'all know what that means. But she said my kids are fine.
Right.
He didn't hurt anybody, and we're just trying to get through this.
Right.
So basically, he was trying to get at the father-in-law, because the father-in-law probably never liked him anyway. Wife is probably going through something where the wife was over there like, listen, we're gonna separate or something. He come over there drunk. Y'all know how that goes. Baby, I love you. Open the door. Go away. Who is you? Remember. I ain't never liked you no way.
Right, for sure.
People just make some bad decisions. When you're sometimes when you're in certain situations, and obviously. He should have turned the other cheek. So, like they say, you know what I'm saying? And been like, right? And been like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna let this thing fizzle.
Right.
But nah, he had to do some 20-year-old shit.
Yep.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's the shit you do in your 20s and your teens.
Jesus.
Your late 30s. You had a successful career.
Right.
Like, I'll kill everybody.
That's it.
Exactly. Like I said, that didn't even make any sense whatsoever, man. I'm just like, what the freak? Are you serious right now?
I'm gonna tell you this though.
What's up?
Just as long as he's not hurt and not murdered, because it could have gone a whole nother way. You already know.
For sure. You're right, Jay.
So, I mean, we've seen that shit before. Where it's
way too many times we even care to. You understand what I'm saying?
So
for sure, you're right about that.
And he has an opportunity to defend himself, and everybody's safe. I mean, that's all. I just wish him the best. I wish him and his family the best.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys for your thoughts on that. Now let's move on to another. Jay, you're here. Listen, we're gonna do just a little bit of boxing. Okay. We're gonna talk about that match. And thanks for letting me know, because I totally missed that. I had to ask Call, if it was on Showtime, so I could see a replay of it.
And I missed the game. I watched the fight because where I was at, my homegirl didn't have regular TV. But she had Showtime. Yeah, I don't know. It's streaming.
Okay.
It's all streaming.
Okay. So streaming service. I'm about to say, how the hell that worked out?
It's like certain things she didn't have.
Oh, okay. I got you. So
I'll take Showtime.
Yeah, listen, 10 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? For real. But this guy, Jermell, man, Yo, this guy, man, I don't even know how he won this. Just like you said, the judges, one of the judges on the card gave him like what was it, like 117 to 111. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I don't
that was
that at all.
you didn't understand it. I didn't see it my damn self because I was like, wait a minute, are we watching the same fight as this particular judge is watching? Because he got handled. Yeah. And I think the only reason they gave it to him was because of that 10th round and on. But at that point,
yeah, but it's already like for the most
part, it's done.
It was done.
It's done. You understand what I'm saying? It's done at that point.
They should have gave it to the other kid because
he deserved that.
Yeah, because
he was ready for him.
The crazy thing is that I thought, like I said in the group chat, I was like, I thought for sure Charlo was gonna handle this dude, no problem.
A lot of people did.
You know, I was surprised, and that's why I would have gave it to him and said, you know what, you get the belt because, you know, he obviously took it from him. Like he really took his power. He
did.
I thought he won the fight, and I don't care what anybody says.
Exactly.
You
understand?
I was disappointed with the draw. I was like, really? But he definitely paid somebody off, man. That 117, 111. I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Because even a different fight.
Because even Charlo's trainer said you're giving rounds away. Correct. I think he said this in like maybe the 5th or the 6th round or something like that. Maybe even the 4th. Yeah, he said you're giving rounds away.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
In the middle of like the 5th and 6th.
Right. Exactly. You know, and this guy Castano was putting it on this guy. He was really he was coming with that with his two-fisted approach or whatnot. He was just like hitting him left and right.
But that's Charlo's problem, and this is why I never.
Right.
I think he's a decent fighter, but his defense is suspect.
Very, very
easy to get hit, and
he's a slow starter.
Yeah, and if you come with somebody that has some power, put him out. Castano didn't have too much power. He was okay, but he kept him honest for the most part. And I just
this is true.
I think he got jerked. I think
he did. I mean, if I was him, I don't know what promotion he's under, to be honest, but I would seriously kind of like petition for a rematch. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if there's a rematch, I think this guy, Brian Castano, could beat him, you know?
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Without question. You know what I mean? I'm just like, they robbed that kid. It was very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Here we go again with the influences of, corruption. You understand? Here we go again with the boxing. Another black guy left on the sport. You know what I'm saying? It's not maybe a big one, but it's a black guy nonetheless. You understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't right. It wasn't right to take this title from this kid. He's undefeated. You know, he had one belt already. You know what I'm saying? And they try to make it, unified. I get that. I respect that. But at the same time, you unified the wrong guy. He doesn't deserve that title. No.
Correct.
Not at all. You know? It's just ridiculous.
No, it's definitely ridiculous.
Now, in some other boxing news, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I had to. Something that we did on our group text earlier, talking about a certain Mr. Terrence Crawford. His last fight for Top Rank will be in October. I forgot his opponent's name, but however, there's some talk out of his camp that this is it. He's leaving Top Rank, aka Bob Arum, after this fight this October, and that's it. And where he's gonna land, if he's gonna just be a free agent. I gotta tell you
real quick.
Yes, sir.
He's with PBC.
Who?
He's with Heyman, Castano.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I appreciate. I'm about to say, wait a minute, he can't go any up to Crawford. Wait a minute, he can't go anywhere yet.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just checking.
all good. But like I said, man, Crawford, about time he woke up. Hopefully, this is true.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. My thing is like, leave Arum alone. It's done. The days of those promoters are done. I'm talking about like Don King and Arum. You know what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya. Get it. It's time. It's done. Your time is done. You've had your spotlight for a few years or whatnot. Years, more than a few.
Well, all the black fighters need to leave his ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not doing you right.
No.
They're not doing you right. And you know who's suffering is the fans. The fans are the ones that are suffering because we're not seeing the type of fights that we need to see because of these different boxing promotions and their personal beef with each other. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's again, I love boxing. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see the top guys fight the champions and whatnot, but we don't get that. You understand? Like guys like myself, Chandler, I'm starting to put you out there. Chandler, Dominic, you know, old guys like us. Listen, I'm old, but back then, you used to see the top boxers. You know what I'm saying? Fight each other. You know what I'm saying? I miss those days, man. You know, it's a rare treat when you do actually come across it. You know, so
that's the difference now than then. You know what I'm saying? The best fought the best. It didn't matter what the purse was. Motherfuckers was fighting.
That's just what it was.
Guy, we fighting. I don't care. We could fight 2 or 3 times.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
We fight to the death. it didn't matter. They made the fights happen. So the guys nowadays, now I'm not going to say that they're soft, but you know, it makes you think like they really don't want to fight these guys.
Well, you know what? I'll say it for you. They are soft. I'll say it for you. They're extremely soft.
No, but I'm saying, like, you know, they wouldn't be able to survive. Like everything, you know, they're in a perfect era for that shit. Because if they would have been coming up with Sugar Ray and Duran and Hagler and Hearn, they wouldn't have lasted. They wouldn't have lasted. They don't have the same.
You're right. You know? Well, it's unfortunate, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like.
But you see this in every sport now.
I was just about to say that.
You know, I coach basketball, right? The kids I have, they're soft as cotton balls. Soft as damn cotton balls, man. They want to like suck their thumb. I mean, it's the craziest shit.
But like you said, Jay, the thing is, this goes across all sports. Like we'll take baseball for an instance. You had the starting pitchers. You understand? There was the relievers were like whatever. You understand? They really were. They were like whatever. But you had starting pitchers that they had to go at the very least, and I'm being nice, 7 innings. At the very least.
Yeah.
You understand? 7 innings.
Baseball.
Exactly.
I used to watch baseball then.
You know?
Because I want to see if a guy could go a complete game.
For sure. Exactly.
He's going 8 innings or whatever, and the reliever
and here's the thing. It didn't necessarily have to be a shutout. It could be the guys just giving up like 2 or 3 runs, and he still goes 7, 8, and or maybe throws a whole complete game.
Correct.
You understand?
Yep.
You know, so like I said, it just transcends through all sports in which they've made it easier. I shouldn't say easy, but softer. You know what I'm saying?
The same thing.
Right.
They sit
Same thing.
These games, and then you know they play in relaxed zone in the NBA, and that used to be the difference between college and NBA. Because you go from zone to man, you got to play man the entire game. There's no relaxed zone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Got my man.
Here we go.
I brought up. I kind of mentioned his name briefly. I brought him up. Talked it up. My man Dominic, your mic is live. How you doing tonight, bro?
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's going on, Dom?
What's up?
Hey guys, what's up, Jay? I was trying to wait till y'all got to the basketball because I'm a little tired, but
I hear you.
Okay. You a little tired, huh?
I knew y'all was talking boxing.
He always past his bedtime.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's past his bedtime. Up there cooking that damn food all the damn time.
That's the one time I take one of Chandler's jokes serious.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Dominic, you better start napping during the day like I do.
See, exactly. That's the key. Yeah, now that's the key right there.
I do that, Chandler, 1 o'clock every afternoon.
Yeah.
Really?
But the last 3 weeks, it's been kind of hard because of what happened and all the stuff me and my wife have been doing. So yeah, I take naps. I'm just tired today.
I think out of all of us on the line, Jay's probably the one that is like nap. What are you guys kidding?
What you mean?
Oh, you do?
Yo, let me tell you. I'm up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Oof. Yikes.
Right? And then I get home around 3 o'clock p.m. I take me a little hour nap because then I got basketball practice from 6 to 9.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I go back to bed around 11, 12. So yeah,
I hear you.
You notice Jay is like the first one to like the quote in the morning because I'm early. Right. As soon as I hear ding, I'd be like, "Oh shit, that's Jay."
Exactly. Hell yeah! You already know. You already know the deal. Exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I already did my workout, and I'm at work.
Wow.
By 6 o'clock.
Listen.
Workout. Man, listen. I'm trying to eat. That's the only thing I'm working out is my arm.
Tell him.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you guys on that one. I co-sign that completely. I'm like this. I'm like, bro. I hear you. I don't have the strength. I gotta save my strength for other stuff. I just don't have the strength.
I'm not old yet, but I'm getting there. I'm 44.
So okay.
You're a puppy.
I gotta get. I'm
okay.
Trying to, when I'm 50, I still want to have, still want to be good money. So
I hear you, man. You better than me. I tell you that right now. I'm like 57. I said, this is it. I'm done. Okay. I've already put in all the work I could put in.
Plus, as a coach, I got to put these kids in the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you do. You got to stay in shape.
And like push-ups and all this stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Let's do 35 right now. They'd be like, coach.
Damn.
But anyway,
35.
Me and ours the same. How old is me and ours the same age? How old is Chandler? He ain't that old.
I'll be 53 this year.
Okay, so you're a little bit younger. Yeah, exactly. So we're the elder statesmen here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
And I
hey, AJ,
hell yeah.
Number.
I ain't hiding this shit.
No, listen, try telling that to my body. Try telling that to my body, please. Thank you. I'm like, oh my God. Well, let me get back to the sports.
Oh my God.
I'm like, let me get back again and get off topic again. Yo, let's get into the lane of the NBA. Dump. So this is Dom's favorite right now. Okay. I said I wasn't gonna curse tonight. I did say that. I promise, but I'm breaking my promise right now because hashtag fuck Giannis. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm not happy. The Milwaukee Bucks, they won that game 5 the other night. Broke my heart, man. Broke my heart. I actually fell asleep. I didn't even watch this whole game because I just came back in from work, so I was trying my best to stay awake.
Right.
It didn't happen, but I was happy going to bed because I saw that the Suns had a double-digit lead at home.
Crazy.
And I was like, okay, we should have this in the bag. So I fell out. I woke up. I checked my phone, checked the notifications, the Bleacher Report, whatever, see the score. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are they kidding me? They actually lost this game at home? I couldn't believe it.
So what actually happened? Because I didn't see the game. Like, how did they lose?
Chris Paul basically had a bad game. And I'm not knocking him, but he had a bad game. He had a bad game.
Right.
He caught. No one play cost you the game, but he cost him the game.
But he was doing that.
What it came down to.
I was saying that he was doing that because he would throw them behind the back passes, and he threw the ball away an awful lot of times in the other game too. I wasn't happy about that.
Well, you know what though, Drew Holiday has been doing work. Everybody say, they say, well, they beat themselves, but sometimes when you beat yourselves, because the other team makes you beat yourself.
Correct.
Drew Holiday, and I think Don pointed this out, maybe two games ago, when we were talking about where's Drew Holiday, and he's chasing him all over the court, and he's chasing Chris Paul, and he's putting in his work. Listen, Milwaukee, for all the criticism, and I can't stand Budenholzer. Budenholzer has, removed his cranial from his rectum, and that team is playing, man. That team is playing, and so the narrative of he can't make adjustments the past couple of games is gone because that team's adjusted. He's playing guys. Milwaukee's winning this more than it is to me that the Suns are losing it.
You have a good point there, Chan. I'm not gonna lie. It's that I have that personal hate for Milwaukee, for obvious reasons. Because I'm a Brooklyn Net fan. I just hate them automatically off the bat. You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna try to lighten the mood because it's funny, guys. This is why I don't listen a lot. As old as I am, I don't like listening no more. Because during the first 2 games, Chris Paul was drinking some magic juice in Phoenix. something happened between game 2 and game 3 where he turned 36 years old and nobody knew. We didn't get the invite, so we didn't know he turned 36 years old on the flight to Milwaukee.
Love Dom.
But you know what happened? You know what happened, guys? I've been telling y'all this for so long, that Jrue Holiday is the best two-way guard in the NBA.
I agree.
It's not even debatable no more, guys. Because guess what? Here you go again with the listening. When you heard the first 2 games, oh, Jrue Holiday shooting 7 for 16, 7 for 21, and Chandler said what I said. He's chasing their 2 best players. But guess what? When they got to Milwaukee, they might have got a little tired. And something else I never want to hear again is make adjustments. That is the most overrated phrase in the NBA. Make adjustments. When you had 4 guys on Phoenix scoring 20 points, it's hard to make adjustments. Who do you put on R when Chandler's hot? And that make adjustments, because guess what? If that's the case, what adjustments has Monty Williams made? He couldn't make none. If Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis scored 20-plus points a game, it's over. It's over because they're a better defensive team than Phoenix to begin with. We might have put a little too much stock. I like Ayton. He's going to be a beast. But did we put a little too much stock in him and Mikal Bridges after the first 2 games when they were scoring 20? But here's something weird, guys. Jrue Holiday has forced more turnovers out of Chris Paul in this series than he's had in the 2 previous series. But Jrue Holiday don't make a difference because he shot 7 for 21. But he's got this guy turning the ball over, picking people's pockets like some panhandler in Times Square on the subway. He's just taking it to. And here's the funny thing, guys, that I didn't know as much as I talk about Holiday. I didn't know he was that little. The way he plays, the way he bodies people, I didn't know he was only 6'3".
Yeah, he's tough.
You would think he was 6'6". You know, he bodies you on offense. He bodies you on defense. He's just a different beast, guys. I'm serious. I'm not his attorney. I'm not his agent. But notice the shift. He basically wore them down. Okay, we'll put him on Booker every now and then. We'll let Booker score his 40 points. But ain't nobody else doing nothing. Chris Paul, he's invisible. And it ain't because he's 36, guys. He was 36 2 weeks ago. He was drinking that fountain of youth. All of a sudden, they got his ass, and he's 36 years old. Okay, or
but Dom, isn't that kind of what happens with a really good defensive player over the course of a 7-game series?
Yes.
If you keep him on that one guy, that guy's gonna wear down. And now Chris Paul, he looks his age, but the truth of the matter is that, listen, after a while, that defensive guy hanging on you, it just wears you out.
Yeah. But look at the guys Jrue Holiday has checked throughout the playoffs. He's checked almost every team's best scorer, or at some time or another switched over on that best scorer, and they made it to the finals.
Right.
I'm not saying Budenholzer, how do you say his name, is the coach of the year. I'm not saying nothing like that, guy. Right. But I will say this: through all the bashing we've done to him, I could only hope and wish that my team and my coach could keep me as relevant as they've been in the last 3-4 years. Get bounced in the first round, second round. Now they're in the finals. Okay?
Right.
That happens. It happened to the Bulls. It happened to the Pistons. It happened to a lot of teams. But they stood with what they knew, and then they got Jrue Holiday. Yeah. Wow. Tell me he don't make a difference, guys, and I won't talk basketball no more as long as I live. He is just that good, man.
And also as a defensive player or any type of player that, if you're playing one guy, or even if you're not playing one guy, it takes sometimes a couple games to figure a guy out. Right. Chris Paul doesn't do anything different. You know what he's going to do.
Right, and it's not hard. It's not hard to figure out Chris Paul, guys. We're not, we're not the originators of the NBA. But everybody and their mother knows Chris Paul can't go left. He can't go left. He could never go left. What is Jrue Holiday doing? he's bodying him to go left. And he has no answer for it. Is it the age? Yeah, probably. Drew Holiday's a lot. But he's doing exactly what everybody in the NBA knows. Chris Paul cannot go left. And what is he doing? He's just constantly forcing him, pushing him, bodying him to go left. And that's where the turnovers are coming from.
Right.
The guy is just a special player. Guys, believe me. I mean, he goes under the radar because he's played for some bad teams, but he is a special talent, man. And people are starting to finally see it now.
Yeah, no. Can I ask you a question, you guys, specifically Dom? You mentioned about him being a spectacular two-way player. And I could be incorrect. I'm just gonna throw another name out there because he's been injured this year. He hasn't played at all. Klay Thompson. Would you consider Klay a pretty good two-way player?
Yes, a pretty good two-way player, but he's predominantly a scorer. He's a good defensive player, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think
he's bigger
pound for pound, yeah, and he's bigger. Pound for pound for what Drew Holiday does at his size, his weight, and the people he's checking. Again, there's 1 minute he's checking their point guard, the next minute he's checking their shooting guard. Not many guys, like, no knock against Klay Thompson. I don't think Klay Thompson could chase a point guard a third of the game. No, because that would take away from his shooting. And that's another thing nobody realized. You know, Drew Holiday wasn't shooting good, but neither was the guy he was checking. He was expending a lot of energy running after these fools all night. But when he caught his breath and they went home, guess what? I'm telling you guys, if he scores 20 points, it's lights out. Phoenix, you know, they got off to a good. So I'll say this though, guys, and I won't get with it. It's been a good series, and I think for me as a fan, this is what I wanted to see because I'm tired of seeing the same old. We got two good, up and coming teams, and they're in the finals. And guess what, guys? It ain't me. The ratings say more people are watching this finals than they've had the last 2 years.
Of course. I mean, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you have new additions to the NBA finals with these two teams. You understand? And like you just said previously, you know, people don't want to see the same old all the damn time. You know, with it involving certain teams that, you know, repeatedly are getting to the NBA finals. It becomes boring after a while. You know, it does.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, well, okay, here we go again. You know, that type of mentality.
And the excuses are out the window. Forgive me, all you LeBron cheerleaders, this condensed schedule and people getting hurt. And one, you signed up for it. Two, 75% of the NBA didn't play into as late as they did last year. So to use that as a get out of jail free card, but then out the other side of your face, they'll say the NBA got the greatest athletes, not basketball players, athletes in the world. But you're breaking down like a Tonka toy in the playground. Really? Drink some damn milk and shut up.
He said drink some damn milk. Crazy, man.
Explain to me this, how does Kawhi Leonard get hurt so much and he gets the most load management games?
I can't even answer that, brother, because I am totally
knees. He's got bad knees. He's got bad knees. He's just like Brandon Roy.
Damn, bro, really?
I wish, yeah, and that's the thing that's always bothered me is no one has paid attention to the fact that he has chronic issues with his knees. That's why that's why everybody's been doing a load management with him to try to nurse him through a season. You see what Toronto did? They got him through the season. They won a championship with him. He reminds me a lot of Brandon Roy. Remember, Brandon Roy started out great, and then he started missing games, but he kept coming back. And rather than them kind of load managing him and saying, okay, we got a guy with chronic knee issues, right? We have to manage him differently. They let him go out there. He kept saying, I'm fine. His career was over in what? Less than 6 years?
Yeah.
His career was over.
Yeah, you're right about
this
that.
This is the only way Kawhi is going to be able to prolong his career. It's obvious that there's chronic stuff going on. Now, whether they talk about it or not, all you got to do is follow the pattern and look at all the history of injuries, all to the lower extremity. There's some chronic stuff going on in there. that is impacting him, and it is what it is, kind of a deal. This is what you signing up for with Kawhi, is that he is going to miss time because of his legs. He's going to miss time. So you have to manage around it. I mean, look at like Rudy Gay. Remember, Rudy Gay used to be able to jump. Now he's just a standstill jump shooter.
Yep.
Right.
So is he now high risk reward?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely, man.
He could opt out of his contract. How many teams are going to jump on it? Because you know what? He may miss most of next season. How many teams would jump on it if he decided to opt out and become a free agent? He's not Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is
I was just thinking about that dude. I was just thinking about that dude too.
Kevin Durant is just a different breed. Not many guys come back from an injury like that and be like they were before that injury. I like Kevin Durant. I'll always say this. I don't care who he plays for. He's just a different person.
Right.
You've never seen nobody do that, guys. Let's be honest.
Right.
You're right.
Nobody has suffered the injury Kevin Durant had and came back. And I would almost say he came back better.
Yeah.
If there's such a thing as Kevin Durant getting better, he actually looks better. Think about that shit, guys. He basically
he was like more explosive.
Carried the Nets to the finals by himself.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Coming back from a torn ACL.
Yeah, but I don't know who would. You know what? There would be probably close to 10 teams that would give him big money. Probably short term, but they would give him at least a 3-year deal for the big money, the max money.
Right.
There's at least 10 teams that would, because we can manage it. You know how this goes, man. You guys know what the egos in these teams. We can manage it. We could do it. Okay.
You got that right, Chandler.
I'm just using that as a shits and giggles type thing because it might happen, or he might get smart. Milked out the last year with the Clippers.
The Knicks will try to get him.
Nah, I think that ship has sailed. We don't have the same clowns running the Knicks we did before.
About 3 years ago, he'd be a Knick about now. About 3 years
exactly. You know what I mean?
Now,
For sure.
We'll see. I'll cut it out.
The Knicks have a island problem of their own called Mitchell Robinson. He got the big man's disease. I would dump him faster than a damn IHOP breakfast.
I don't know, but when the word might be in the street already about that cat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they could do something that makes the Knicks better if they do move him. You know what I'm saying? They might take the short end of the stick with that one.
Right.
Because the word could be out in the street.
But here's the thing. When he got hurt, the Knicks got better defensively and offensively.
Right.
So
that's another thing. Exactly. You think teams aren't watching that, brother?
Yeah. He could be another Nerlens Noel. Remember Noel early in his career, he kept getting hurt.
Right.
And the past few years he's been able to stay healthy, but teams recognize that he's not a guy that you want to play heavy minutes. You bring him in spurts. You're gonna sign him with a decent money, but he's really gonna be your backup. And you manage him accordingly. I think Mitchell Robinson could have a 10-year career if they adjust how they view him. But if teams still think that this dude is going to turn into what his talent says he should have turned into, then they missing the mark.
Right.
And when it comes to Noel, I think Noel was another product of where he got drafted. He was never, an Akeem Olajuwon on offense. Good shot blocker, good rebounder. But he got drafted too high. Yeah. And
I agree with that. Definitely.
That sort of becomes a knock on these guys. I hate to say it. That kid Fultz, he got drafted number one. Should he got drafted number one? No. Has he made a turnaround in Orlando before he got hurt? Yeah. But he'll always be pegged as they drafted him number one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Always.
And that's the sad thing. And, we have a few of them on our team now, so yeah.
And speaking of that team, you're gonna segue into that as well. We'll come back, of course, to other stuff, but we're gonna segue into the New York Knicks and the a little flirtation with Cleveland Cavaliers point guard Colin Sexton. Rumors, people are saying this is the trade that should be made. A lot of New York Knicks fans they like this idea of Sexton being the point guard of the Knicks. Let's get into that.
I like it. I like Sexton. I think that a large part of his issues is the organization he's with.
Right.
That's a clown organization from top to bottom. You got an owner who's a clown. You got to, he don't want to pay general managers, so they're leaving all the time. So the general managers is doing everything to get, I need to get paid, so I got to try to do this, or this guy ain't paying me, so screw him. That general manager, they did a bad job from jump. They brought in John Beilein, who never should have been an NBA coach. Correct. John Beilein quit like halfway through the season. I can't do this. This is too much. Yeah. Now you got Vic, the junior clown Bickerstaff coaching the team. Right. I just keep going back to Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. was off the hook in Cleveland, right? Team just got rid of him. Yo, you got to go. It's too many issues. He got to Houston. Suddenly he's a model human being. Now I'm not saying that they haven't put some things in place to try to help the young man. He's got some stuff he's got to deal with. But where was this in Cleveland? You understand what I'm saying? So, and if you look at that team, you had Kevin Love getting mad on the court, throwing hissy fits. Dude, you a 20,000-year veteran. You throwing hissy fits on the court. What do you think the young players is going to do? You know what I'm saying? You got guys staging walkouts in practice. There's all kind of nonsense going on. Hilarious. You put Colin Sexton with Tom Thibodeau because Avery Johnson was his coach at Alabama. We know Avery Johnson ain't no mild-mannered dude, all right? That little high-pitched voice, but he ain't no mild-mannered dude. And Colin Sexton did well under that type of coaching. Now, Thibodeau is a yeller. He's an old-school guy. I think Colin Sexton wants to be coached. So you give him a coach who's actually going to coach him, and with the player development people that the Knicks now have.
Exactly.
Now have. Because we saw guys improve under them last year. Across the board. We saw guys improve across the board.
Right.
To me, it's a no-brainer. And it's only for a year. If it don't work out, you're not beholden.
I think it'll be one of the smartest trades they ever make, or the smartest pickups they ever make, I should say. I think he's a good player.
I think the other rumor is better.
22?
Yeah.
22, 23, something like that.
Yeah. I try to get Fox before I get Sexton.
Darian Fox?
Now, the thing is, though, Dom, I see...
like Sexton better.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Dom, I got to tell you, I saw proposed a trade, by someone. I thought it was a little bit too much for Fox.
I saw it. But you
saw it, right?
That being said, if you look at the pieces they was thinking about it, first of all, De'Aaron Fox is a better all-around player. He's just a better player. No knock against Sexton. Trust me, no knock. I take either or, but I would prefer Fox.
Okay,
but that
fair
trade
enough.
you saw, you look at what they're giving up.
What was the trade?
Huh?
What was the trade?
Fox got a couple
Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, quickly, and some draft picks. Now, before you go off the ledge, anybody.
For Fox?
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And think about this, I was trying to explain it to Max. Obi Toppin is going to be stymied for the next couple of years playing behind Julius Randle. Quickly is never going to be a starting point guard. He's never has been, never will be. Can he get better at it? Maybe. Mitchell Robinson, we already said the big man disease. If Sacramento's willing to take that flyer, fine. He only got a year left. So if they're willing to take that flyer on him, and the draft picks that everybody screams about, when you get better, your picks get worse. So
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that being said, I would pull the trigger because guess what? You'll still have a lot of your core, and you'll still have money. And you sort of to Sacramento wouldn't be a bad deal anyway, because I'm gonna bring up a name that me and Chandler harped about for 2 years. If Sacramento trades Fox, they still have Halliburton.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh my God, we're losing our point guard.
Right.
They have Halliburton. Where even though Cleveland is a dumpster fire, they get rid of their point guard. Who do they have? And again, everybody complains about the picks. Oh, you're going to give up 2 or 3 picks. Again, guys, when you get better, your picks get worse.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Just pull the trigger if it's possible. I know these are just rumors.
Yeah.
But again, I would prefer Fox over Sexton. And what the Knicks have to give up is not really a bad deal. It's not a bad deal.
You know what? When you
really nothing.
Yeah, when you break it down, you know, as you were talking, excuse me, it's a good deal.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
It is. I like to keep quickly. Personally, I like to keep quickly. Like if I could substitute, say RJ Barrett, but you know, guys know I was going to say that. But I mean, that's not a bad trade.
What else new?
That's not a bad trade. Honestly, that's not.
Yeah,
I
don't think so at all.
It's not.
And you know what, Chandler? If Sacramento woke up one morning and said, "We don't want Quickly, we want Barrett," well, guess what? Barrett got to go.
You're gonna ship Barrett.
My thing is this.
I said this during the season. Quickly has quickly become a better shooting guard than RJ Barrett.
Yep.
So
yeah, of course.
People think he's going to be a point guard. He's not a point guard, guys. He didn't play point guard in college.
Right.
He didn't play point guard for the Knicks this year. He's going to be a hell of a shooter.
Right.
But as of right now, age, experience, time in the league, I believe Quickly is a better shooter than RJ Barrett. So if Sacramento got an epiphany that we want RJ Barrett, well, guess what? See you.
They're not going to give up RJ Barrett, though.
Hope you like surfing. You know?
Stupid.
Got to go.
Not in Sacramento, bro. Now, but anyway, I don't think
he could drive to LA in the offseason.
Yo, they're not going to give up RJ Barrett. But I'll tell you this. I would definitely, if that shit is real, I'd pull the trigger because I never even thought that Obi Toppin was a great pick. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not really losing.
I hear you.
Again,
I mean,
the Knicks management,
and you gained a phenomenal guard.
Yeah, the Knicks management, who we have fell in love with. When you really rewind the whole season, other than Thibodeau, maybe lightning in a bottle with Quickly. What did they really do? You bypassed a position that we needed filled for 25 years in Halliburton to draft Toppin, who's going to play behind Randall.
Right.
Really? So you got some making up to do, fellas.
Correct.
And you walked away with $19 million in the salary cap.
Right.
You walked away not even spending all your money, and it came back to haunt you because the two teams that went into the offseason last year, the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks, had the most cap space. Atlanta shot their load, got every piece they needed, and they beat you in the playoffs 4 out of 5 games.
Right.
Coincidence? I don't know. I'm just saying. They got a lot of proving to do, guys. We fell in love with them. Don't get me wrong, because they didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
That's where we fell in love with them. They didn't do nothing
that's enough.
wrong.
That's
So
enough.
That's enough.
That's
right?
that's enough.
Sad. That's sad, but it's real.
That's enough for us Knicks fans. Yeah. But now that you rewind the tape and you start looking forward, guess what, guys? Tick tock, every one of y'all are on the clock. No more alibi. No more alibi.
Oh God.
Real talk.
You guys are funny as hell, man. Y'all are funny as hell, man. I tell you that right now.
The thing with Toppin is he's going to turn out to be. I think he's going to turn out to be a good player, maybe really good.
Same here.
I don't think he's going to be an all-star.
You think so?
But I don't think he'll be an all-star, but I think he'll get close. Okay.
Okay.
He'll be one of those guys that if a couple of injuries happen, he might make one all-star team in his career. You know how that goes. But why would it never made sense? And I said at the time, it didn't make sense to draft him. You had 17,000 forwards. You drafted another forward.
Right.
And he's not going to play because now maybe they weren't expecting Randall to take the step that he took.
Perhaps.
Maybe they expected Randall to be same old Randall, right? And then they could be like, okay, we can move on from Randall or trade him or whatever. I don't think they expected Randall to take the step that he took because Randall cemented himself right now. Listen, you got to keep Randall. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the centerpiece for championship, but he can be an important part. He's shown that he can play in New York. He's shown that he can be really, really good for you. He's shown that he can get you to the playoffs. You can't get rid of guys like that. You got to keep that guy. So now what do you do with Toppin? I think you have to move him. And any other time I'd be like, let's keep Toppin and try to work it out. Nah, if we can get Sexton or Fox, which I think Sacramento would be fools to get rid of De'Aaron Fox, honestly. You know, the guy that I think would be easier to get for them is Buddy Hield because we need shooters. But if you can get one of those guys and you have to move Toppin, hey, you know what? If it comes down to if he gets that good, you can sign him back as a free agent in a few years.
Right, right.
The other kid was going to be good. DeLeon Wright. I thought he was going to be good coming out of school.
Yeah, but did the Knicks also try to fall in love with small ball? Maybe we could play Toppin and Randall together. Again, guys, no matter how we slice it or dice it, they missed the elephant in the room. They missed getting a point guard.
Exactly.
And we're still having this conversation now with a new regime.
Right. What was the first year?
I love Buddy Hield.
Let's give him some time.
Buddy Hield would be a negative on our team if we don't fill the spot that we need to fill, and that's the point.
Got that right. You got that right. Yeah. Listen, we got our man Bishop is live. What's up, Bishop? How you doing, man?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
All right. Good to have you. You know, as you hear the conversation, we're talking about your team. The New York Knicks.
It's always about the Knicks. What other team?
All right, calm down. Take it easy.
What other team would it be?
Calm down. Have a drink or something. Take it easy. All right.
Look at that smile on you. You're talking about the Knicks. Look at that smile on his face. Look at that smile on his face. He can't stop blushing. He's blushing. Look.
I'm not blushing. Get out of here, man. It's the goddamn green. It's the green screen. It ain't me. All right. Stop that nonsense. Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? So let me hear some of your thoughts on what Dominic and Chandler and Jay were talking about.
Yeah, Sacramento would be fools if they got rid of De'Aaron Fox. I agree with that. Like why would you get rid of the position that you gonna be searching for the next 5 to 10 years when you got it now, a premier point guard? Why would you get rid of him? And he just coming into his own. Like he finally this past season he finally calmed down and kind of like started playing like how he's capable of playing. And it's like, and he's just going to get better because his jump shot got better, and he's a lot more under control. So I wouldn't get rid of him unless I'm going into a rebuild phase. And it's like, okay, well then I'm still going to be searching for, guess what, a starting point guard. Buddy Hield is disgruntled, so you might be able to get him on the cheap. He's disgruntled with his playing time. What that would mean though, that we would have to get rid of. We have to get rid of somebody, and I wouldn't be so anxious to get rid of Toppin. I wouldn't be so anxious to get rid of Toppin because he is. I'd like to see what he can do in the second season with a full season under his belt. With the game start slowing down, I'd like to see what he can do. You know, because he showed signs. Like typical rookie stuff. He was lost in the shuffle in a lot of the games. But he did show flashes. I mean, I don't know how many rookies can get the ball in the post and make a good move. He fell in love a lot with the 3-point shot, but the times that he did catch the ball in the post, and he's super athletic, so I'd like to see what he could give. On the other hand, you know, you guys know I'm not a fan of RJ, so I would dangle him. I would dangle him in a minute and see if I could get Hield and somebody else, you know, for RJ for the potential. Now, I mean, that kid from Cleveland, I don't know if you guys talked about that yet.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit. Yeah, we just kind of glossed over, but go ahead.
The kid from Cleveland, he's going to be going for cheap because they don't want to pay him. So even if you get him for a season, and he playing for contract money, so he going to ball out. He going to ball out. He going to do whatever Tibbs asks him to do. He going to do it. And then you don't have to worry about the jump shot. You ain't got to worry about him being penetrating and not completing the layup. Then you get Derrick Rose in his natural off the bench role. Then who knows? You might be able to, if it works out, you might be able to combo him and Quigley in the backcourt. You know what I'm saying? And you get the one with the Serafina haircut. You get the 2 guard.
Bullock. He said the Serafina haircut. He's talking about my man,
Bullock.
Right. Bullock.
Yeah, Bullock.
So I was like, who?
You get Bullock. You get Bullock and Rose
right.
in that second unit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd like to see. I feel like Quigley is he's gonna be a nice in the second year, and I wouldn't give up on Toppin yet. I wouldn't give up on him yet.
Okay. Okay.
He'll more than likely be a target. I mean, I'm all with Bishop. Don't take this the wrong way, guys. I would trade RJ Barrett tomorrow if the right name came up.
Yep.
Because his position and his lack of doing what that position requires is enough for me to say, hey, if I could get Buddy Hield for 1 year and try to convince him and dangle him a little money to stay, fine. But I think I would rather keep, as much as I like Bullock, I would rather keep Burke than Bullock, because Burke does a whole lot of stuff. He's a good shooter, good defensive player, play many positions. He's solid. You know, he's a very solid ball player, and he sort of found a home playing with the Knicks. You look at the games that he played, guys. When the Knicks started the season last year, he was averaging 20-something points coming off the bench before he got hurt.
Yeah. Yep.
And basically, he was the only one that showed up in the series against Atlanta.
Yeah,
that was before they started asking him to do point guard duty. When he was just coming off, and he was like kamikaze. He was an assassin, an offensive assassin coming off the bench. Then he was lighting it up. It was something nice.
Oh, well, what? Wait, I just don't understand. Maybe he came into the. I mean, I'm just saying. Maybe the game was a little. How many teams has he been on?
Who, Burke? 3 or 4, right?
3 or 4. Yeah, he was with Utah, Philly. Utah, Philly. Well, with Utah, he couldn't break the rotation, and he was always hurt. But he was always solid. And then Utah, you can't be cool. Like you gotta play defense. You gotta play hard. That's what they require out there. And he was just way too cool for school. Same thing in Philly. He was just too cool for school. And it's like, dude, we need you to come in and get buckets. I don't know what other team he played on.
He was on Cleveland.
Yeah.
Golden State.
Golden State, right.
Yeah, Golden State.
That's what I'm saying. So what? This guy's been like much traveled
for only like 1 year though. He's had like 1 year deals.
But that's what I mean. Of all the moves he's made, he seemed to be more comfortable in what the Knicks were doing.
Yeah.
Right. Now Bishop's right. So they were sort of forced to have him do point guard duties in certain situations. And again, that goes back to tick tock. That front office is on the clock, because we never had to put Burke in that position if the Knicks would have got a point guard.
Right.
So that being said, I think he's learned his too cool for school lesson, and he got a coach that ain't into that too cool for school shit.
Right.
You know, this is what we expect. This is what we want you to do. If you ain't hitting, you sitting.
Right.
And that's how Thibodeau plays, and that's how he coaches. He always did. And people thought he would change when he came to the Knicks, because they got young players and all these other fake stories. Thibodeau's going to be Thibodeau, guys. If you're waiting for him to change,
good luck.
Guess what? Chris Paul invited him to his 36th birthday party. Yeah.
Like I said, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
You know,
ain't changing, fellas.
He lucked out too, because he got into a role with the Knicks where it really wasn't no pressure for minutes. Like hands down, he's better than like RJ when it comes to like crunch time. There was times in the fourth quarter where RJ didn't get up off the bench.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't offer what he offers, and it's kind of like. And I think that's another reason why they had got rid of Rivers, because if you think about it, if you had those two dudes on the bench, there'll be no reason why you shouldn't give Rivers or Burke some minutes. And RJ is struggling. It's like, dude, you struggling on defense. You're always out of position. Some games he showed up. I'll give him that. Some games he showed up. He was able to hit those side the wing threes. He got more consistent on that. But it's like, dude, like we need you to be all things. At that 2 spot, we need you to be all things. We need you to take it off the dribble. We need you to make good decisions. We need you, some games, we need you to be the leader. Some games, we need you, but you got to give us 15 to 20 points a game. And if you can't shoot, because teams started just stacking it in, and it's like, so what good are you?
And it made Randall's role that much more difficult.
Right.
Yep.
When you had the Burks and the Bullocks shooting, then you had Randall getting 6, 7 assists, triple doubles. But when they were slipping and sliding and Burke got hurt, now who you giving it to out in the corner? R.J. Barrett.
Exactly.
I don't know nobody personally, but I think if the Knicks front office left it up to Tom Thibodeau, I think they would get rid of R.J. Barrett for a shooter.
I think so.
Okay.
For a defensive shooter, not just a shooter, somebody who's going to play defense too.
Yeah.
Right. I can agree with
because
that.
it's no coincidence, like Bishop said. There was many games down the stretch during the season, guys, that R.J. Barrett had his hands in his neck watching the game from the sideline.
Yep. And like you said, like you said, I think it's the Bishop that said that, listen, for what you do, you were the overall number 3 pick in the draft. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to have those attributes. You should have them anyway. You understand? I mean, more than more than you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it should be in you naturally. You understand? And if you're not putting that out there, well,
but this is
why even here? Why even here?
This is where we get lost. I mean, again, I have the privy of watching all the ACC games down here.
Right. Yes, you do, sir.
If the Knicks scouts and staff didn't notice this kid wasn't a good shooter in college, he was horrific, and he really saw at the foul line. And at least he got a little better at that. But if you thought you were going to bring him in as a number 3 pick, and he was going to become a Klay Thompson or a Buddy Hield, as far as a perimeter game, I don't know what hell y'all were watching, but it wasn't what I was watching. He happened to play on a very good college team that pushed the ball. He ran the wing. Cam Reddish was their shooter. Don't get it twisted. That kid that plays on Atlanta, he was Duke's shooter. Zion was the down low guy, and RJ was the guy catching the wing on the break. But Cam Reddish was their shooter, not RJ Barrett.
Right.
So whatever the Knicks saw, I still can't figure that out, guys.
No. Hey, I got a name. I got a name for y'all, just because we keep talking the Knicks don't have enough shooting. What about Josh Hart? He's going to be a free agent.
Negative.
No?
No.
Okay.
So what I was thinking, what I was expecting from RJ this second season. So you see how Anthony Edwards plays? Minnesota. I was expecting something like that from RJ in the second season. The first season, you know what I'm saying? Like I give you that, because the game is fast. Guys are strong. Everything is whizzing by. You got to think about what's going on with the play, where you're supposed to be. By the time you realize that, they done already laid the ball up. Guys are screening you. They hitting you in your head with elbows. Everything is like going super fast. That second season, I was expecting them to come out and ball out and kind of like embarrass people. You know what I'm saying? Catch off the half court set, bang it on somebody's head, doing like stuff like that. And it's like, this is as good as it gets for him.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see from him, he may morph into DeMar DeRozan kind of game. He may morph into something like that. But I don't think he's ever going to be like a off the dribble, create his own shot, and cerebral kind of player. I don't see that.
I see him as a low budget Jalen Rose.
Oh damn!
You said a low budget Jalen Rose?
Damn.
Jalen Rose didn't play.
Played better.
Remember, Jalen Rose didn't play with a whole lot of speed in the NBA because he was tall. Right. But he had that get you down low.
Finesse.
He'll hit a shot. Yeah, he was very finesseful.
Yeah.
But again, guys, maybe I got to take out of my memory banks of what I saw with R.J. Barrett in college. And then he came to the Knicks. And I'm saying, well, okay, I'm going to give him the Bishop alibi first year. Okay, I'll forget he wasn't a good shooter at Duke. Second year, okay, fuck Duke. I can't even think about when he was in Duke. Come on. This could be who he is. I mean,
wow.
Let's just keep it real, guys. Like the youngins say, he is what he is.
Yeah, well, there you go. Like you said, he is what he is. I agree with that, man. I'm just like, listen.
I've been salivating all season, and Chandler been busting my bubble with this Bradley Beal. Like Beal would be perfect with the Knicks, and Chandler just every time I bring it up, he just keep like saying the negative and the contrary to it. But I think that RJ would fit in well with Washington because they got a bunch of young players. They got a bunch of young players. They could all figure it out together. They could all grow together. And you bring Beal over to New York, and with Randall, with whoever else they get, they need a young big. They need a young big that could get up and down like a forward big, not a young big that could get up and down like a younger Taj Gibson, and it'd be good money, yo.
If they had kept Scott Brooks as coach, if they kept Brooks as coach, I think that Washington might have moved Beal. They cannot embarrass Wes Unseld's son and not have Beal on that team. They're not going to do that to Wes Unseld's son. They just not.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm glad you segued into that because that's the next thing I want to talk about. That Wes Unseld Jr. has become Washington's new coach.
That's a lot of money, though. That's a lot of money to bite your tongue on. That's a lot of money.
I know, but that organization is different, bro. That's just they just
stop. Please make him stop. Please make him stop. Please make him stop, yo.
But Bishop, on the other coin with Chandler, maybe they will break up the band and everybody start from scratch with Wes.
Yeah, because what's the expectation of him? What's the expectation for him? Are you expecting him to win? Nah, it's like
you can't.
You might be expecting him to rebuild like how they doing in Orlando. Rebuild. Let's rebuild this thing. Let's get some pieces. Bradley Beal is a big expense.
Yeah, that's the question. Where they're gonna go, because like I said, I can't see them tearing it totally down because Wes Unseld is just his listen, he is, there with that franchise and organization. That's his son. They got to give his son even money shot. I'm glad I feel bad that he got the job, but I'm glad he got the job. If that don't sound crazy, because
it doesn't.
I get it. Franchise to work for, but I'm so glad he finally got his shot.
Yeah, you got. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, Bishop. But the thing is, not to defend my buddy Bishop, but the thing is, guys.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The genie is going to come out the bottle with the wizard. Whether they decide to break the band now or break up the band later, they're gonna have to break up this band because guess what? The tunes aren't kicking. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to come to the stark realization that we've been there, we tried that, and we're still, and we're paying this guy $40 million to be a lottery team. Really? Sooner or later, I don't care who the coach is, guys.
They're not a lottery team.
Reality is gonna kick in.
Yeah, wait a minute. They're not a lottery team.
No, they made the playoffs.
No, they made it to that play-in shit.
Yeah.
Which is a farce. But anyway, okay. They would have been a lottery team.
Think about the teams in the East that are going to be ahead of them. Like if everything held true and the Wizards played the best that they could play in the Eastern Conference, they'd probably still wind up 7th or 8th.
Yeah,
look at it.
Right.
7th or 8th, 11, and then that 12. Means if everything held constant, that means if Russell played the way he plays, Beal played the way he plays, no injuries, and they play some defense because Hachimura has another season under his belt, and they got the young big, and they'll have that other big that's coming back, the one that was hurt. They'll have him coming back. They're 7th or 8th seed at best, which means they matched up with the 1 or the 2, and they're getting blown out in that first round. So that's the best that you could hope for if nobody gets injured. So I can't imagine them paying Beal and Russ all of that money to be a 7th or 8th seed in the Eastern Conference.
I don't even think they'll be that high. When you take away some of the injuries in the Eastern Conference last year,
right,
and teams that are now starting to put shit together, I don't think they're in the top 10 because they're basically a two-man team. They got away from the Wall Beal era, which didn't work. Got them in the playoffs a couple of times. So to the Westbrook Beal era. You notice a trend here?
Beal is still there. Beal is still there.
Exactly. But you're still doing the two-trick pony. You're still doing, and you know what? It didn't work in Washington. It doesn't work in Portland. That two-trick pony at the guard position has not really garnered a lot of success for teams. And they've done it twice, guys. So, I mean, damn, you think the light bulb would have came on before, but hopefully it comes on soon. The Bishop gets his wish. But you can't keep beating the dead horse, guys. Let's just keep it real. This guy deserves a little better than that.
Who did Unseld get as his veteran coach? Who's on his staff?
That's a good question.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
I don't know. That's going to tell the tale. That's going to tell the tale.
It's easier. It's much easier to be a coach in a rebuild season. It's not a lot of pressure. You can win your 30, 35 games, show some improvement. You start playing defense. You got a young core. You start featuring like the two forwards, and you got a guard. They got another guard, a young guard. You start featuring some of these guys. You got a big that gets up and down. You got a big in the half court. Start featuring some of these guys. Get rid of the and if you put RJ with that combo too, it's like you got a nice young team. You can mold them because a lot of these young coaches, they gonna need these teams to be like Clay, like the dude in Orlando. He's in a perfect situation. Because it's like there's not a high expectation. You get to basically come in and implement. And if you win 30 games, you're a superhero.
Yeah. Washington is just such a hard team to figure out what they're doing because the owner, dude, it's like from moment to moment, you don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
But at the end of the day, Chandler, when you say, excuse me, you don't know what he's gonna do. He keeps doing the same thing, though.
That's what I mean, though, Don.
He's very consistent on, we're going to run this guard offense. It hasn't worked. So we'll change R with Chandler, and it hasn't worked. So what are they going to do next? Go get Chris Paul to play with Bradley Beal? I mean, it isn't working.
Right. That's what I'm saying is when everything that you think they should do, they don't do. Everything you think they shouldn't do, they do. It's a really weird organization. Like I never expected them to hire Wes Unseld Jr. as head coach. I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Nobody saw that coming. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so now you got these two veteran guards who want to win, and you just gave them the rookie. Well, not the rookies, but I mean, you gave them a rookie head coach. So did you give him that coach so they could teach him? Or none of it fits, and so we've all been saying that in different ways, but none of this fits.
But Chandler, you just said that what makes the big difference on that staff is who he has as assistants.
Yeah. So right now I'm looking at
that's going to be the key. I was trying to find that information. I didn't see it.
I see it right here. So
for real? Okay.
Tony Brown, Robert Pack, Mike Longwimbardi. Dave Atkins.
That's a D-League team. The D-League team.
That's a rebuild.
Pretty much.
You don't have anybody.
They rebuilt some damn coaching staff.
He was a ball player. As a coach.
Robert Pack.
Robert Pack
was. Yeah, they're gonna go get Baron Davis too. They're gonna get Baron Davis too. Yeah, go get him too.
He's been a good assistant for a while, but dude, where's the veteran coach that has won? And you know what I'm saying? Where's the Mike Woodson? Where's the you understand what I'm saying? Even though I hate him, but where's the Mike D'Antoni? Where's that?
No. I'm not saying Mike D'Antoni, but you know what I'm saying? I'm saying a veteran coach that has been through everything. Where's that guy?
Right. Yeah.
Where's Kenny Atkinson at? What happened to him?
Golden State.
Oh, okay.
He's what's the name's number one.
Yep.
He's number one for Steve Kerr. He's non-threatening. He's non-threatening. If Steve Kerr back go out again, he ain't gonna try to snake him for the job.
Nope, not.
He ain't gonna try to snake him for the job. Yeah, so hey, we might get our wish, Dom. We might get our wish with that coaching staff. We might get our wish because I sure would like to see Bradley Beal in the New York Knicks uniform, and he played with that.
No favors.
He played with that chip on his shoulder. He played with that chip on his shoulder too. That's being wasted in Washington.
Yeah,
that's being wasted in Washington.
And the shitty thing is, the longer you wait, the less longevity Beal has.
Yes.
So are you going to get to the end of the rope in 2-3 years from now? Now he's got 2-3 more years to tie a tread on him, and then you say, "Oh, we're going to rebuild." When you could have rebuilt in 2021, the markings were there. You got a new coach, you got a new staff. You know, the Knicks just did it. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Not because I'm a Knicks fan. The Knicks brought in a whole new coaching staff to coach a lot of young players, had some seasoned vets. But the Knicks just did it. And they changed the direction and they changed the narrative of that team in one season. So you can't tell me it can't be done.
True.
Washington's just running in quicksand.
Yeah.
I just feel sorry for Beal. I could care if he went to the Knicks, to be honest. I just hope he goes somewhere. Preferably the Knicks.
I agree.
I want him to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We know that, Bishop. We know that already.
The Knicks, they'll definitely be a contender.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yo.
What do you think about Willie Green getting the job? You know what my problem is with? I like most of the guys that got hired. I like, except for Rick Carlisle. You know, I can't stand him.
Right.
But why won't they give Sam Cassell a job?
Yeah, I said that for years.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that my damn self.
But you hired Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Kidd, real quick, I'm sorry, Bishop. Bishop, I'm glad you're here. That's the difference in when we were talking last week, the other day, about the whole Billups thing. But see where Kidd went, and nobody brought up nothing, and his stuff is way more recent than Chauncey Billups. It all depends on where you go, man.
It's a fact.
Yeah, but I already told you. Please, it's like you change the narrative, make it about something that is like, you know, you can't really attack it. Like the only thing he had to say was, listen, like, you know, first I want to give an honor to God. I want to give all the glory to Him, because without Him, none of this is possible. He's the one. He's the author of my journey. You understand what I'm saying? And the person that I was 20 years ago, I'm not that person now. I'm living to honor and glorify God, and that's how I live my life. And that's just make it about that. And then if they still want to pursue that, but now you're attacking my Christianity now. You're attacking the fact that I'm a Christian. That's what this is about. And that squashes that thing right then and there. Yeah. It's all dead. It's all dead.
And it's ironic that a franchise like Dallas,
exactly,
had enough skeletons in their closets under the Mark Cuban regime, that nothing was said. Matter of fact, you heard about that Mark Cuban and all that sexual harassment and all that shit. You heard about that for what, 5 minutes?
Yep.
That was it.
And then all
Then all of a sudden, Big Brother put that Men in Black stick in our face, and we forgot. Remember? Who remembers?
Yeah, I remember. They one of their high-ranking executives had to resign because he was running through. They had this thing where they were running through some of the women in the organization and keeping tallies and so forth and so on. But it's like, again, it's like, I'm sure Mark Cuban, if you want to be in this, if you want to be a part of this, these are the questions you can't ask. These are the things that you can't touch these areas, because that should have been a subject matter for the whole season.
But then again, Mark Cuban took that Men in Black stick, and after all was said and done, and we forgot, he hires a black female to run the operation.
Yeah, and all was good. All was good.
Thank you, Chandler.
all was good
now.
I checked all the boxes.
Not only do I have a woman in charge, it's a black woman. So
there you go.
Boogity. You ain't got nothing to see here.
He said boogity.
He's like, you check the box.
With one swing. Hello.
You check the box.
Yep.
A minority, a woman, a woman of color. It's that's a trifecta right there.
That's it. You're winning. You're winning right now.
Yeah. You gotta know how to play the game.
Stand his ass go.
That's in celebration of Juneteenth.
That's what they did in Washington with the football team. Oh, the wife is in charge now, and they said, "Oh, everything's going to be better because a woman's in charge." She was there the whole time. All other nonsense was going on. What's going to change?
Not a damn thing. Not a goddamn thing. It's gonna be the same nonsense, brother.
They won't do it in front of her. They won't do it in front of her.
Right. That's the thing. They have to do it undercover.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the climate.
Dude. And you know what? Again, I hate doing this, R. But do you notice that since Maria Taylor decided she was gonna go to NBC, suddenly nobody has a problem. Nobody has a problem.
That shit,
right?
You see that, right?
So apparently, Rachel Nichols was right.
Yeah.
Well, what did we say last time, guys? Was this a setup? Was Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor in some room and say, "Hey, Rachel, remember what you said 500 years ago? Let's leak that shit. Let's leak it right now." My contract's up in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I hope she goes to NBC. To be honest, y'all can't.
Same here.
But
I hope so
she
too.
goes to NBC.
She's going to be the token female blackface at NBC that she want to be at ESPN. That's what you're telling me. Okay.
So the token.
No, but I will say this:
more money.
If Mark Cuban could wave the black stick and hire some token black woman to run his organization, power to Maria Taylor. She gonna get her money.
I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her.
She gonna get her money. She gonna go kiss Rachel Nichols. They're gonna go out for dinner. And Rachel Nichols will be working for NBC next year.
Listen.
Probably.
Listen.
And we'll all be sitting there saying, "Damn, we weren't that stupid. We were just joking."
Dude, this shit is amazing. It's amazing, man.
It was only 2 weeks ago, guys. It was only 2 weeks ago we brought this up.
Yep.
And now look what's happening.
It was a huge firestorm. You understand what I'm saying? And it went from that to just like barely, not even a whisper.
Nope.
Nope. She gonna walk away with the money. I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care if she's a.
I ain't mad at her.
I don't care if she's a token Oriental, Italian, Korean. If she gonna get paid by NBC and leave that shit show called ESPN,
by all means,
power to her. Power to her.
Oh.
By all means.
Oh my God.
They'll be having Maria Taylor doing golf with Jim Nance.
Yeah. No, don't know a damn thing about golf. She was there. So, but you know what? But the part about it that bothered me. Look, I'm happy for her. Get your money. But all these hypocrites that came out the woodwork, right? That was coming for Rachel Nichols' neck, mainly because they had a problem with Rachel Nichols. Okay, because it was a woman talking basketball. Let's be honest. That was part of it. They finally had their shot to get at Rachel Nichols, right? I ain't heard them say not one thing, right? Where y'all at now? Where all of the people who said, "Oh, a white woman shouldn't have said that, this, that, and the other, this, that, the other." By the way, the same men who were talking trash about Maria Taylor 2 seconds before Rachel Nichols said that. But anyway, what do I know?
But here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, Chandler, that we brought up 2 weeks ago. What did she say bad about Maria Taylor? She actually threw ESPN under the bus. That's why nobody at ESPN said nothing. They were like, "Okay, we're going to take her off the sideline reporting, and we're going to put a black girl on the sideline." Really? Come on. They knew their shit was up against the wall. Again, ESPN has a history of running a shit show. And it's coming full circle now because of
you can't tell that to a lot of people. You can't tell that to a lot of people.
The chickens are coming home to roost.
They subscribe to that bullshit.
Exactly. Yep. It's coming home to roost the second time.
Yep.
Because if you ever read that book that Keith Olbermann wrote, that place was a zoo. They were having sex parties. They was acting fools, coming on the air drunk, and nobody said shit. Then all of a sudden, they all disappeared, right? But they all became pretty successful, but they all disappeared from ESPN. But the shit show never stopped.
No.
Yeah, Harold Reynolds running around there with his penis out.
Yeah, and guys pissing out of hotel windows. Remember that? This is their mojo, man. Wow. This shit didn't happen to Maria Taylor.
Ridiculous, man.
They make this shit up.
God bless him.
Like I said, ridiculous, my dude. Well, hey, let me get back into this. Let me see what Max 611 says here about the Damien Lillard and Portland Trailblazers situation. You might have gotten to that a little bit already, but let me tell you something. The man has said repeatedly he never said that. He doesn't want to get traded. He wants to stay in Portland. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing. If it's coming from the horse's mouth, then God damn it, believe what the fucking horse is saying. Well, that's it.
You can't, because you need a hot take. You need a story. It's like we talked about in the group chat, and I brought it up because it was too many people saying it, and then Dom literally called. He said, "Well, I want to hear from Dame." Dame said, "I ain't say that."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good now.
and the funny thing, guys, I'm at the gas station. I'm parked. Normally, I voice text y'all if I'm in the car. I use the system in the car. But I'm sitting there waiting for my wife to come out. And here's Damian Lillard on the damn radio. I'm like, oh, shit. I grab my phone real quick. I don't make sure I don't go misspell.
Right.
He's talking right now. Yeah. No. Yeah. I told you. And he said it very clearly, like a normal human being would say.
Right.
If you didn't hear it from me, then
that's it.
Let it go.
There's nothing to talk about.
And you know what? When I stopped texting y'all and got back in my car and drove, the same radio station, Sirius XM, who let you hear the clip from Damian Lillard himself, did just what Chandler said. They flipped the narrative. Well, what he said might not be true because he's just.
Here we go.
Yeah. I couldn't even text y'all that because I was just saying, no, I got a voice text now. I might fuck up the words and they won't understand what I'm saying. I felt like pulling over. Guys, if you have Sirius XM, turn the shit on right now. They just played Damian Lillard's voice. Damian Lillard talking. And as soon as they cut the interview off, they went right. Greg Anthony, Legler, and somebody else. It was like, well,
fuck them.
He just said that, and I still believe
fuck out of here.
Legler is the drama queen. He always say he's a drama queen. And you said Damian Lillard. You didn't say it was from Dame Dollar. So Dame Dollar
sorry, bitch.
might be saying he want to be traded, but Damian Lillard is saying the right thing, the politically correct thing. But Dame Dollar is like, nah, bro, he hitting bars, talking about how he want to be up out of there. So,
but they're all the same, Bishop.
This shit is stupid, man.
Greg Anthony on Sirius XM, he's a drama queen because he was the first one to say something.
Figures.
As soon as the interview went off, Greg Anthony was, well, sometimes they say things and you can't. I'm like, let the mic cool down. I mean, Lillard just got done talking. Can we let the mic cool down? No, they just went right into what Chandler said. They went into a new narrative. Well, actually, they went into the narrative they've been pushing before Lillard spoke. So they had to back up their original narrative with a new narrative, but was the same narrative. Did you get all that? I'm sorry.
Where would he? But I'm just saying, like, if that is in fact the case, then it would be so contrary to what he has been saying all of these years. It's like, so you wrote it out with Portland, you got carte blanche in Portland, so much so that your boy is there. You know what I'm saying? They should have got rid of McCollum many years ago, but you guys have wrote it out together all this time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're a losing organization. You just can't get past the hump, which means to me that you just need a few players. You need a big. You need a big that's going to rebound, that's going to be a force in the middle. The big that you got, he's always hurt. You can't keep playing every season with a hurt big man. It's seriously hurt. You can't keep playing with, and you need some more younger, I'd say, like forwards. You got that Simons there, but they need to have somebody that's going to be prepared to step in when Dame can't do what Dame is doing. So you got to be grooming somebody to take on that role. So you need backups for both Dame and CJ. You got Simons for CJ. You got Simons for CJ, but you don't have anybody for Dame. And it's kind of like, you can't, as an organization, if you want to continue to stay relevant, you always got to be thinking ahead. Dame is at the top of his game, but an injury, a serious injury, a knee, some kind of ACL or something, and then you in oblivion. So I don't see where he would go to fit in, like how he plays. I don't see where he would go. Like, what team would he fit with?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. No,
because it's like whoever he goes, you know that he could get you 30 a night.
Right. And he's 31 years old, by the way.
Philly, maybe the Clippers, maybe the Knicks. Although the Knicks would have to give up basically the entire team, which then makes no sense because you're right back in the same situation you just left. Like I started to text y'all today because there's some clown on that 4-letter network was talking about he would trade everything plus picks, and I'm like, so you're gonna bring him in to an empty team? Y'all know the clown I'm talking about. I'm not mentioning his name. I'm not giving him oxygen.
I think I have an idea exactly.
Yeah. You're gonna trade the entire team, so basically it's gonna be a Carmelo Anthony situation. So that a year from now you can start blaming Dame for the Knicks not having no players. Okay.
Yep. Stupid. You know.
Well, if it was the old management, that would have happened.
You already know exactly.
we would have been here like, no, not again. Fuck the Knicks. I'm done.
We'll give you 7 draft picks. We'll give you everybody on the team.
You already know the deal.
We'll give you the ball boy.
Exactly. Everything. You know? Oh man, before I break out and whatnot, call it a day. I want to thank you guys for joining me as well. I'll punch Max 6'11" in his face. No. See that motherfucker? No, I'm joking around. Yeah, exactly. You already know the deal. Yo, what do you guys think about the situation with the what's happening at the the Olympic Village?
What, everybody getting COVID?
Yeah.
In a city overrun by COVID, where they won't even let the fans come, and nobody saw this coming, right? Nobody. So you go to a city that's shut down because COVID is rampant. They won't let the fans in. Oh my God! You mean the athletes are getting COVID too? How shocking!
Right. I just had to briefly mention that because I was like, that shit don't make no sense whatsoever. The fuck you think was gonna happen?
It's a money grab.
Yeah,
it's a money grab, pure and simple. And these and listen, I get it for Olympic athlete. This might be your only shot, so you're gonna take it. I get that part of it.
For sure.
I'm not blaming them.
No,
there's no way the Olympics should have even been held. Not in Tokyo.
I agree.
No, exactly. It didn't make any sense. I'm like, y'all still gonna have this shit? Seriously?
Well,
do we not know what's going on?
Depending on who's left. It might be 3 people in the relay.
This is like unprecedented time. So you mean to tell me you couldn't push the Olympics off a year?
Right.
Due to the this is unprecedented.
There you go. Exactly.
Worldwide.
I agree.
Worldwide.
Like, no, we have to do it.
Worldwide.
It has to be done.
Like now. Like really?
Yeah, we need that money, bro.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Well, you got some of the advertisers. I know, like the Toyota, which is big. They pulled out because it's like, we don't want to be associated with this. We don't want to be associated with this. And one of the biggest sponsors, and it's kind of like, I'm sure, like some of the athletes, if they haven't already gotten there, some of them probably will be reconsidering because it's like, okay, well, why would I trained, I did all of this, and now I'm going to go into the hot zone?
Right. No way. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, especially if you're not vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, you'll get it test positive, and for the most part, the majority of people are vaccinated. They won't experience the symptoms because those symptoms can be hell on your body. Now imagine if you're unvaccinated, and this is the variant, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know what this is going to do to your body.
But they even talk about the people that were vaccinated that get this variant. So I don't know, man.
This is just crazy. You know, I just want to see what your guys' quick views was on that whole situation, man. I was like, well, why? Because I know me. I was like, why even have it? And like Bishop said, because I was saying the same thing. Can't postpone it. The fuck?
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Hey, let me tell you something, man. We're not the most intelligent motherfuckers in the world, right? But
Jesus Christ,
we got a little common sense. Be like, okay, so this shit is going on. I'm probably not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Like if you know motherfuckers is getting robbed one way, right? You walking, people are walking that same way. They getting robbed. Would you go another way? I mean, come on. Man.
You would like to think so.
Not.
I remember when I was living in Fort Greene. I was living in Fort Greene next to the park.
There you go.
Right across the street from the that park.
Mm-hmm.
You go.
Which one? Fort Greene Park or Commodore
Fort Greene
Barry?
Park. Fort Greene Park.
Okay,
right
Fort
there,
Greene.
Fort Greene Park.
Yep.
And like if you go from the hospital right over there by Brooklyn Hospital and you cut through the park, you get right on that street, and I live right on that block. And I'm like, dude, like after dark, you don't take the shortcut.
Right.
You walk around.
You walk
You
around.
don't take the
right.
shortcut.
Take the long
You
way.
don't take the shortcut. It's like, yo, I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn.
Right.
I know what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And I wouldn't walk through there. I wouldn't walk through there. And I would always see these young yuppies walking through there, holding their head, holding their head, coming out, screaming, pockets empty. Somebody worked them out in there. Somebody, it was like, yo, like what makes you think that you are oblivious to anything happening to you? When it's like, yo, I saw somebody come out of there with like the crazy eye jammy. I'm talking about like somebody worked them out, yo. Somebody worked this dude out. He had an eye jammy. Like, yo, I'm saying to myself, like, why would you walk through there?
I'm exempt.
Like, why would you walk through there?
Oh
like,
man, that's hilarious.
The entrance looked like that damn haunted road that you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Still going down the damn road. Okay.
It's like, yo, it's lit. Like when you walk up the stairs by the hospital, it's lit like nothing. But once you get through the park, I mean, these dudes be unscrewing the light bulbs, breaking. So it's like what you call like dead zones in there, and people chilling behind trees. All that thing, like you get hit in the head with a blunt object.
You may not make it out of there.
Yeah, it was like no, people would make it out of there. They'd be screaming, holding their head,
just to save you some time.
Just to save a few steps. It was like, yo, just walk around, dude. Just walk around. Just walk around. Just walk
that's
around.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
I don't understand.
Hell yeah.
Like, yo,
intelligent, or the people of the. That's head of this fucking Olympic shit. They're supposed to be intelligent.
They don't care. They don't care. It's money.
They
don't.
Money.
Money.
They will kill people over some damn money.
Well, you know what? It kind of reminds me of what's going on here in New York, to be honestly, and it's probably going on all across the country and whatnot. The fact you have a new variant. Well, you got a new variant, but yet you want to loosen restrictions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How does that work out? How does that work?
Money, bro.
There you go.
Just think about.
Go ahead, Bishop. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying just think about this. 1 week before this whole this week, the flavor of the week is, hey, there's a variant. Everybody needs to get vaccinated.
Right.
2 weeks ago, nobody was talking about it. Right. Nobody was talking about it. They were talking about getting back to normal, the summer, and yada yada yada, travel, and how airlines are packed and this and that. Everybody doing barbecues, everybody doing this, everybody getting back to normal. And then all of a sudden, this week, the flavor is, hey, everybody needs to get vaccinated. And it's like, okay, so the problem that you have is there's not a consistent message. If you would have been preaching this consistently throughout, then maybe finally some of these people would get it in their head and say, okay, well, maybe I need to do something different. So before the variant happened, but it's like, you switching messages every week. So it's like, how you expect some consistency in action when you have all these mixed messages?
Right.
Because they money hungry. It's like,
yes, they are.
I had this conversation the other day. I forget who. Cancer been around how long? Forever, pretty much, right?
Ever.
Now we know that for the folks that have there's probably something they giving them, but for the normal amongst us, ain't no cure, right?
Yep.
When they shut the country down and started losing money, you had all the big pharma companies pooling. These companies won't even eat in the same restaurant. Okay, their employees can't even eat in the same restaurant. They working together on a vaccine. Got a vaccine together in like 2 days. 2 days. 2 days after they said we working together, let's do the trials. 2 days later, hey, we got a vaccine. Got another vaccine. Vaccine. Because they're money hungry. So they're going to keep loosening restrictions. Why? Because they're trying to get this dollar. And people just don't want to recognize the fact that they don't care about you. They want your money. It's still not safe, but they want your money. And they will let you die in the street to get that dollar.
Correct.
Yep.
Well, between that and the shifting of the narratives with, you remember when they said, oh yeah, somebody hacked a multi-billion-dollar oil industry, the distribution. Somebody hacked the system, so now there's a shortage of oil available, gasoline. There's a shortage of gasoline. There's now mysteriously a shortage of drivers to deliver the gasoline. So before the hack, everything was fine, but now the hack happened, and now there's no drivers. There's no drivers.
Yeah.
So now, and that happened right along the time of the holiday, so that the gas prices can go up, and they had already started preparing you. Hey, if this lasts for more than a day or two, the gas prices are going to go up. Said this, if this lasts for more than 2 days, the gas prices are going to go up. So they were conditioning you to let you know that gas prices were going to be going up.
Exactly.
And then they picking and choosing. They had limes. It was about 3 weeks ago. Limes were $1 each. I'm like, limes are the cheapest thing to produce. How are they $1? Now limes are back to the normal price. Now they're doing this thing with the chicken wings. I'm like, so wait a minute. If you don't have a problem with chicken legs and chicken breasts, how is there a shortage of chicken wings? I don't understand it.
Because they keep losing one leg every time they kill a chicken. One leg is it's like the socks in the dryer, bro. You put 2 in, one come out.
It's like, so I think what's happening is, a lot of people have shifted to like this online ordering of groceries and all of that stuff. And the only thing that does is the data mining. It's data mining to see who's buying what, the volume of what people are buying, where it's being bought at, and where they can kind of like manipulate the pricing, create this artificial demand. That's all it is. And it's like, so they figure everybody's buying chicken wings, so let's just jack up the price of chicken wings. Next week it'll be corn, or the next week it'll be, they started with the wood. I'm like, wait a minute, wood is the most cheapest natural resource that we have. So much so that when they're looking for like green energy and biofuel, they extracting sugar from wood because it's so cheap. It's so cheap. They want to stay away from the corn. They want to stay away from the food source. They go to wood. It's so cheap. It can be Malaysia. All these places have a glutton of wood. So why would wood all of a sudden be astronomically priced? So you trying to do a deck, or you trying to repair a deck, a board that used to cost you $16 is now $38.
Right.
It's like, okay, so what was the, so they realized people are home. People are doing a lot of home improvements. People are improving their outdoor space and all of that. So guess what? Let's jack the prices of that. Let's say there's a shortage of wood. It's like they're just going to keep shifting it and create these narratives to create this artificial demand, so that everybody feels like, okay, well, if I go to the store and I spend $100 on something that I used to spend $2 on, I'm still getting the value because
I'm getting
people can't get it, and I'm getting it. I'm part of an exclusive club. It's like Starbucks. It's like Starbucks. It's like you go in there and you spend $13 on a cup of coffee, and you feel good about it because you have the ability to go in there and spend $13 on a cup of coffee. It's still a cup of coffee, but you spend $13 on it, so you feel special.
I just wish they could have
shifted
the.
A lot of our products are getting smaller, little by little, but we're paying more.
Yes.
Yep.
So they can all kiss my ass.
I just wish it
I'm off
shifted.
This planet, man. I'm going to Mars.
I feel you, brother. Like I said, I just wish it shifted. It didn't shift today because I tried to find some chicken wings and I went shopping. I didn't find it. Just saying, man. That's why when you first brought it up, it resonated deeply with me. I was like, damn, I just went to the damn market earlier today. Couldn't find that shit.
I'm saying that's the cheapest thing. That's the cheapest thing. That's the cheapest part of the chicken. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that they start chopping it up and selling it as wings and not giving you the whole wing. They start chopping it up into pieces and talking about this is a wing. It's like, no, this is part of the chicken wing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I remember when I was growing up in Brooklyn, they had a meat market over there on Ashford and Linden Boulevard.
Okay.
You go on that meat market. You go on that meat market right across the street from Pink Houses. You go on that meat market, you get like a family bag of chicken wings. There's about 40, 50 wings in there for like $9.
Yep.
Man, it was hard to carry that bag when you was a kid. That bag they gave you carry.
Yeah.
Carry this. You better not drop.
Yeah, but it's like so, and that was the whole wing. That wasn't the pieces of the wing.
Right.
It's like,
crazy,
yo,
man.
Craziness, man.
It is ridiculous.
Then Wingstop said they doing thighs now. So if it's a shortage of wings, how come you got so much chicken to do thighs?
You know what? Actually, I thought that was a bunch of bullshit. I was like, the fuck out of here. How you gonna take Wingstop and make it thigh stop? That shit don't even sound right.
Right.
You know?
It depends. If you're a man, and you into thighs, that's right up your alley.
But you see what they did though. You see the okie doke they did though, because they had Rick Ross do it. So you paying attention to Rick Ross, you ain't paying attention to the fact that wait a minute, huh? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the perfect person for it too.
For sure, you got that right.
He's like,
you ain't never lie.
What about the shortage of wings? And he got all his cars and all. It's like, nigga, you know how stink your car's gonna smell? All that smoky chicken. It's like, even if it's in your trunk, that smell is going. It's gonna take at least 3 weeks for that chicken smell to get out your trunk.
Exactly. Oh man, you guys crack me up. Listen, I'm gonna have to break out. You know what I'm saying? But you guys, man, listen. Thanks for calling in, man. Bishop, is he serious? Is this fool serious right now? Look at this jackass.
He said you was gonna punch him in his face. He said, "Meet me."
Yeah, I did say that.
Block.
So in typical Mac 611 form, I say I'll get ready to leave. Here he comes with poking in with his. Oh, Jesus Christ!
He just got out of that foreign film. I told you he took the pork pie hat off. He was out Manhattan.
Follow the notification on your phone for permission access.
What? Hold on. Why is that so loud? What are you? Oh my God! What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Disturbing the peace right now.
Matt got that microwave phone. He got
exactly.
He got that microwave phone.
He just left the
What the?
Yo, Chandler, you sound like you on a CB. Breaker.
That was actually, believe it, that was actually Mac.
That was Mac.
That's Mac.
That was him.
It's like, he making you sound like you on a CB radio. It's like, trucker. It's like, that's a 49 on the 255. Like, what the
hell, man? I don't believe this guy. What the hell's wrong? Are you all right? And I see you on mute right now because you have to fix your phone. You need to. You know what I'm saying? Keep telling them, get some real electronic equipment. Okay? Say something.
You see, you got that.
Mac 611.
You got a Toshiba phone.
Oh my God.
Where they make copiers?
I keep telling this dude, buy a real phone, man. Stop with that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Got the COVID.
Yeah.
He got the fucking
his phone got the COVID. His phone got the COVID.
Well, you can't have a good phone when you in there doing the finger snaps, in that coffee bar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man! Oh no!
Well, no. He's gonna have to come back on the next show because I gotta break out. So you know what I'm saying. So that's just what it is. So yeah, too late, Mac. So I'll talk to you tomorrow, I'm sure. So you're good.
Peace and blessings, brothers.
Yes,
brothers, thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate that. Also appreciate Dominic, NC representing. Appreciate you guys. All right, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
All right.